Good morning, students. Today we will start the chapter of Animal Kingdom. So let's start. Animals are multicellular and heterotrophic organisms. Heterotrophic means they cannot prepare their own food. Animals are without cell wall and they are without chlorophyll. So animals are multicellular, they are heterotrophic, they are without any cell wall and they are without any chlorophyll. Now let us discuss the 11 phyla which are included under Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia includes 11 major phyla. These 11 major phyla are as below. Number 1, Porifera. Second, Cnidaria, which is also called Coelenterata. Number 3, Ctenophora. Number 4, Platyhelminthes. Number 5, Esculenthes. Number 6, Annelida. Number 7, Arthropoda. Number 8, Mollusca. Number 9, Echinodermata. Number 10, Hemichordata. And the last 11th phyla is Chordata. Now let us understand on what basis animals are classified into different phyla. So on what basis we have these 11 phylums, let us understand. The first basis of classification is level of organization. There are 3 levels of organizations: cellular level of organization, tissue level of organization, and organ system level of organization. Now, in cellular level of organization, cells are not aggregated into tissues. Example of cellular level of organization is Porifera, the first phyla. Now, in tissue level of organization, cells are aggregated into tissues. Example of this is Nidaria and Ctenophora. And in organ level of organization, tissues are further organized into organs and organs further into organ system. The example of organ system level of organization are all plants from Platyhelminthes to Chordata. Now, before looking at the second basis of classification, we should know about the types of digestive system in animals. There are two types of digestive system in animals, which are incomplete digestive system and complete digestive system. In incomplete digestive system, there is single opening for mouth and anus. Single opening which serves as mouth and anus. Means there is a single opening through which food will enter also, and a single opening through which waste will leave also. So a single opening would be there through which food will come inside and waste product will move outside. Single opening. Whereas complete digestive system, there is separate opening for mouth and anus. Food will always enter through the mouth and waste product will always leave through the anus. Similarly, we also have two types of circulatory system. That are open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. In open circulatory system, blood vessels are absent and the cells are bathed in blood. Whereas in closed circulatory system, blood vessels are present and through these blood moves. What do you mean by cell are bathed in blood? It means if this is a cell, it would be surrounded by blood altogether. It would be surrounded by blood altogether because blood vessels are absent, so cell would be surrounded by blood altogether. But here the blood would be passing through the blood vessels. Blood would be passing through the blood vessels. Now let us look at the second basis of classification. Second basis of classification. Second basis of classification is the body symmetry. Body symmetry, according to the body symmetry can be asymmetrical or symmetrical. Now asymmetrical body plan means body cannot be divided into two equal halves. Whereas symmetrical plan means body can be divided into two equal halves. If body can be divided into two equal halves by any plane, it is known as radial symmetry. And if body can be divided into two equal halves by only one plane, it is known as bilateral symmetry. So if the body can be divided into two equal halves by any plane, it is radial symmetry. If body can be divided into two equal halves by only one plane, it is bilateral symmetry. Example of radial symmetry is porifera, nidaria, coelenterata, and echinodermata. Whereas example of bilateral symmetry is platyhelminthes, two chordata, except echinodermata. Now the third basis of classification is Germinalis. So if an organism develops from two germ layers that are ectoderm and endoderm, then that organism is known as diploblastic organism. But if an organism develops from three germ layers that are ectoderm, middle mesoderm, and inner endoderm, they are known as triploblastic organisms. Example of diploblastic organisms are porifera, nidaria, coelenterata. Whereas example of triploblastic organisms are platyhelminthes, two chordata. We should also know that inside the diploblastic organism, if this is ectoderm and this is endoderm layer, there is presence of a undifferentiated jelly-like layer in between ectoderm and endoderm, which is known as mesoglea. So inside diploblastic organism, inside the outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, there is presence of a layer which is known as mesoglea. Now let us start next basis of classification, that is coelom. Coelom is a cavity between the body wall and the gut. Gut means digestive tract. So this cavity between body wall and the gut wall is known as coelom. In some organisms, the cavity between the body wall and the gut wall is absent. Instead, it is filled by a matrix. Such organism in which coelom is absent and it is filled by a matrix are known as acoelomate organisms. Example of acoelomate organisms are Porifera to platyhelminthes. The organisms in which coelom is present are known as coelomate. And here the coelom is derived from mesoderm. There are third type of organisms which are known as pseudocoelomate or having false coelom. In pseudocoelomate, the coelom is not derived from mesoderm, is not lined by mesoderm. Instead, mesoderm is present in pouches. Example of these are Esculmenthes, which include roundworms. An example of coelomate are Annelida to chordata. So there are three types of organisms: acoelomate, which do not have a coelom; coelomate, in which coelom is present, which is derived from mesoderm; and pseudocoelomate, which have false coelom because coelom is not lined by mesoderm. Now let us look at further type of basis of classification. Now we should understand what is metamerism. Metamerism means the body is divided externally and internally into segments called metamers. Example of metamerism is Annelida, in which earthworm, you have seen the body of earthworm which is divided into segments, and Arthropoda. So two phylums, they exhibit metamerism, that are Annelida and Arthropoda. Now the last basis of classification is notocode. Notocode is a mesodermally derived node, mesodermally derived rod, which is known as notochord. If this notocode is present, if it is present, then the organisms are known as chordates. And if this notocode is absent, then the organisms are known as non-chordates.